Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, I am Ainina Ratnadiwati as a junior researcher and also graduate master of Economic and Study Development from Universitas 11 Maret Surakarta. And today I will present about my research that conducted with my friends. They're Mrs. Maulia Siti Mukaromah and also Miss Nurul Fadila from Universitas Tidar Magelang. So our research is belongs to local communities and demographic dynamics as a catalyst of agricultural economic growth. But before I start my research, my presentation, my research that I will begin it with a little story. When I was in elementary school, actually, I ever to ask my historical teacher that's about what the kindest thing of the colonialism left for us. And she asked me back like, have you ever been to most incredible temple in Indonesia called the Candi Borobudur or Borobudur Temple? And I answered like, yeah, I ever. And have you ever drink a Chalices tea, Chalices coffee? Yes, I said yes. Yeah, that's about the kindness. One of the kindness about the colonialism uh, left for us, called the local communities. So Indonesia has an area that produces many local communities, such like a Kedu Residency. That's a Kedu Residency that's separated into few regions, Kota Wonosobo, Kebumen, Temanggung, Magelang, Purworejo, and also the city of Magelang. So agriculture is the backbone of a good residence's economy actually because they contribute around to 22% of total GDP because the area is characterized by fertile volcanic soil and strong potential for local commodities such as tobacco, coffee, coconut, and also tea. And also emerging challenges, agricultural employment declined by about 5% between 2019 and 2024, and also urbanization and economic diversification push rural workers into non-agricultural sector, and persistent productivity gaps between districts. So, but the core problem, we unclear how much local communities and demographic dynamics contribute to agricultural economic performance. And also previous studies are often sectoral and lack integrated spatial temporal perspective. So our research urgency is about a need for integrated analysis combining. So we were using a panel data regression and spatial mapping to capture both economic and also geographic dynamics. So this is our methods. That's about the equation, and we use the type of variable that is dependent also independent. So about the dependent is GDP in the agricultural sector, and independent is about number of workers in the agricultural sector and also agricultural area, and cocoa production quantity, total tobacco production, total coffee, coconut production, and also the tea production quantity. So we just got it from a PPS data, and this is the result that a few independent variable affected the GRGP, such like area, the total of tobacco, coffee, coconut, and also coconut production. And we show it in the maps. We use a geomap data mining, orange data mining. So the first about agricultural GRGP distribution. So about Wonosobo and Magelang show the highest agricultural GRDP values offer 4.5 until 6 billion rupiah. And also the Bangu has the lowest GRDP, so suggesting economic diversification beyond agriculture. And high GRDP areas are typically mountainous with a fertile volcanic soil, so it's a favorable for high value crops. And also this is agricultural run area. So Temanggung also dominates with the largest non-paddy agricultural area, as we can see in the bright yellow zones. And also Wonosobo also has a wide agricultural land despite steep topography. And Magelang and Purworejo show smaller non-paddy areas, so it is more rice-oriented agriculture actually. So larger land area is a higher potential for plantation and horticultural growth. And the next is about the tobacco production, as we can see in the maps, like Temanggung and also Wonosobo are the core tobacco producing cluster. It's about 90,000 tons per year and also supported by cool climate, volcanic soil, and also long tradition of tobacco cultivation. Like other districts, such like Kebumen, Purworejo, Magelang, show lower intensity due to diversified farming focus. So the next is about the coffee production. Because Temanggung is the highest coffee production, says 12 thousand tons per year. So followed by Wonosobo. Coffee production correlates with the high elevation about the 800 until 1,500 meters. And however, limited downstream processing produce is contribution to total GRDP. So actually, the spatial concentration we can see in the northern Kedua highlights like the strong cluster potential. The last is about the coconut production. Kebumen is the main coconut producing district. It's located in the western part of Kedu. Moderated altitude and high humidity supports like coconut intercropping system. Also, other districts like Temanggung, Magelang, Purworejo have lower yields, smaller spatial footprint because coconut plays a stabilizing role in household income diversification. So our case special insights actually special cluster reflect agropolitical specializations such like a tobacco, coffee in the north, coconut in the west, and also agricultural performance is not evenly distributed but require location-specific development policies. And the last is for the special integration can guide targeted innovation for productivity, diversification, and also sustainability. So our main findings is about the local communities and researchers that is significantly drive agriculture GRDP, and also tobacco, coffee, and coconut are key growth contribution. And spatial disparities remain evident, like Hill region, Temanggung, Wonosobo outperforms other due to better land quality and commodity specialization. So we suggest like a develop agro-based industries to strengthen local value chains and promote product diversification to reduce dependency and also single commodities and enhance spatially balanced agricultural planning using geodata for decision making and the last encourage circular and sustainable agricultural system aligned with the local potential. So actually agricultural growth is not just about economic but also spatial and demographic because policy must integrate all three dimensions for a regional resilience. So the last but not least, agriculture is not merely about land and crops, but it is about people, places, and the balance between them. Because, like, our study highlights the interconnection between local potential and spatial equity, strengthening place-based agricultural strategy ensures that growth becomes like inclusive, sustainable, and also locally owned. That we hope these findings contribute to designing evidence-based agricultural policies for regional transformation. Okay, I think that's it. Thank you so much for the attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.